70% of an animal's immune system is in their GI tract. And if we're putting toxins in on a daily basis, not only are we going to negatively influence the GI immunologic health, which means all of those Peyer's patches or gut-associated lymphoid tissue dramatically, really negatively affected, not only by chemical insult from the glyphosate, but we know now that animals consuming genetically modified foods, that it actually can change the terrain of their GI tract. So at best, we can expect leaky gut / dysbiosis, but at worst, absolutely, being that an animal's gut is its first line of defense, we are providing a potentially irreversible immunologic consequence from feeding tainted diets on a daily basis. A lot of my clients will come in and say, oh, you know what, my dog or cat has a sensitive stomach. So when we talk about really what does a sensitive stomach mean? It means that these animals with very small dietary changes can have very profound negative impacts. Now you have to remember, dogs are scavenging carnivores. Dogs lick their bums. Dogs eat poo. Dogs eat rock, stick, grass, dirt. Dogs can eat carrion, dead animals. Dogs have a very resilient, strong GI tract, and they're meant to eat everything in their environment. And they have been designed to do this over the last tens of thousands of years. Dogs have evolved catching and killing their own food, but also when they can't find anything to catch and kill, they will scavenge. And their GI tract is entirely set up to be resilient and strong and capable of handling all of this tremendous bacterial load. And they've evolved to handle this. So they're very strong, resilient creatures. There's no reason that a dog or cat should ever have a sensitive stomach, given this history of them developing this tremendous ability to consume a very high microbial load, and even dead, dying, diseased animals, they're absolutely designed to handle that. So when I have a patient come in that has a sensitive stomach, my first question is, why? Because dogs and cats should not have sensitive stomachs. They were designed and have evolved to handle a tremendous amount of dietary diversity, which means you should be able to switch your dog and cat's food every day, just like as humans. We should be able to eat something different for breakfast yesterday than we did today and not have explosive diarrhea tomorrow. If humans can't eat a wide variety of fresh foods and not have GI complications, there's something wrong with that patient's GI tract. And the same holds true for veterinary medicine. Dysbiosis means that because dogs and cats were designed to consume such a variety of different foods in their environment, their GI tracts are strong and resilient. They have very strong stomach pH. So the animals can eat a very high bacterial load. They have very acidic stomach pH, which kills off all of those bugs. And then they have a tremendous amount of bile, which of course enhances peristalsis, but also does a great job of balancing the microbes within the GI tract. Animals eat a lot of dirt and poo, dogs and cats specifically, to be able to get the microbiome that they need. When we wean our animals on to species inappropriate, toxic, dry, inorganic, chemically laden foods that have been genetically altered, we cannot expect a health outcome. What happens is animals become sick, not terminally, but they become chronically diseased, which takes those dogs and cats back to the veterinarian 6 to 8 times a year. Most veterinarians aren't appalled by that, but I am. I don't think that a healthy animal should be visiting the veterinarian for chronic allergies, chronic inflammatory conditions, arthritis, diabetes, organ degeneration. Those are not signs of health. Those are signs of chronic disease. So we should be asking ourselves, why are we having really an epidemic of animals suffering from chronic disease? We have to be thinking about the foods that we're feeding. So when I have patients that come in saying that they have sensitive stomachs, we need to begin thinking about sensitive stomachs, meaning that their gut biome is unbalanced or off, that the tight junctions that create the sealed, strong, resilient gut that allows nutrients to come in but keep foreign invaders out, those tight junctions have been broken. And the GI tract now becomes really a two-way street of absorbing in toxins, foreign proteins, and antigens that the body was never meant to be included into the system. And this happens through a system of breakdown that, of course, begins with toxic food. When animals are put on the exact same food, and this comes from my profession, veterinarians recommend that you wean puppies and kittens onto a dead, inorganic, highly processed little brown crunchy ball that we call kibble, and kibble is produced. It has to contain a starch 99% of them being GMO'd. And then, of course, between 70 up to 70% carbohydrates coming from grains, which we know have not only glyphosate revenues, but have been genetically modified. When we're feeding these puppies and kittens genetically modified ingredients, basically from birth, and then as a veterinary profession, we're telling our clients never switch their food. In fact, switching foods could be harmful. Veterinarians are the only health professionals that will tell their clients that fresh foods could be dangerous and that you should never feed anything but a highly processed diet for an animal's entire life. And we actually have been able to convince generations of pet owners that that's healthy, that they should never switch their food, that preferably they should buy the food from us, the veterinarians, and by feeding a dead, inorganic, overprocessed, toxic food their entire life, that we're the professionals, you should trust us, and that's going to achieve health. Well, not only has it not achieved health, we have dogs and cats dying younger of more degenerative diseases than we have ever seen before. And not only do we have to recognize that we're feeding foods that are toxic to them on a daily basis and expecting health as an outcome, which of course can't occur.